Okay, so my first question is, what makes you happy? What makes you happy? What can change your day?
Uh,
Bastian?
uh, see, watch wrestling makes me happy.
Wrestling is a good thing for you during the day. Changes your perspective.
Yes, totally. Where
All right.
when the shows are bad, I'm very sad, and when they are good, I can dance all day. And when I am studying, I have more. I can put more effort.
All right. Wrestling. Interesting. Interesting. Lisbeth, what makes you feel happy or, relaxed? Anything?
Music, I think, because when I feel a little bit stressed, I used to listen to music to relax.
All right. Listening to music to relax. Good. Natalia says watching a movie and a big donut with chocolate. Right. Nice. Who can refuse that, right? William, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Uh, my girlfriend, my animals, a good film, good music, a good class. When you do something with passion, I love that.
Alrighty. Good. Good, good. In that order? In that specific order? Or uh, just randomly? Whatever happens first.
Uh, in just one word, when I do or when someone does something with passion, with love, I like that. I enjoy that.
Alrighty. Very, very clear. Very, very clear. Thanks so much. Anyone would care to share? Amaya, Claudia, Gaspar, Sebastián, what makes you happy? Sushi and watch TV. All right. That's good. That's good. That's also something I love doing, eating sushi, different varieties, right, of sushi, and having the remote control, not having to fight for it, but just have it with you, right? Anybody else?
And me,
Yes, go ahead, please.
it make me happy my dog Tommy, and also eat junk food.
Okay. Which kind of junk food?
Sushi, hamburgers.
I didn't know sushi was junk food. I mean, I knew about hamburgers, hamburgers, French fries, all that stuff, but I didn't know sushi was junk food. I'm so sorry to hear that because many people are so fond of sushi. Maybe many don't know that it is junk food as well. So good to know. So we've got to avoid it, right? Let's see. Guys, another thing that I have to tell you before we start the class is that I'm going to, sorry, before we go into exercises, more practical exercise, is that we're going to try to practice some of these concepts. All right. Um, I think another one that I did not mention is that, for instance, when you say the sound, or when you use the sound right, as in late, for instance, in initial position, the quality of that consonant sound is not the same as when you use it in final position. For example, late, 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 or link. You can think about any word starting with like love. Can you think about any other?
Laura.
Laura, perfect.
Lose.
Lose, you got it. So whenever you have something like, for example, Laura or lose, when you have the little sound in initial position, is to transcribe like that, right? I mean, almost the same symbol, right? But in between slashes, meaning that that is a phonemic symbol, right? That's, and the one on the left is the grapheme or the letter, right? L. Now, when you transcribe the same sound in final position in words like, for example, Paul or call, right? Call or roll, the the tongue goes a little bit backwards. So it's not the same quality. When you say, for example, love, love, the tongue goes above to touch the alveolar ridge, right? But when you say call, call, the tongue goes a little bit backwards, like rolled up a little bit towards, I would say, the heart palate, maybe. Okay, so when you transcribe the initial sound in love or Laura or lot, right, or lose, you use a regular symbol, right? But when you transcribe the other one, you have to use the same symbol crossed in the center with something like this. Okay? The first one is called light light I don't know why, but that's the way people may call it. So when they refer to the second one, guess the name. Dark So the in final position has a dark quality, meaning that the tongue is rolled up a little bit backwards towards the heart palate. Whereas the first one, the light is just as a consonant sound produced by putting the tip of the tongue towards the alveolar ridge. Okay, so that's the difference between these two sounds, that in initial position have one quality and in the other one they have another one, right? Exercises. I'm going to this is going to be a transcription exercise, okay? And in this transcription exercise, you're expected to listen and to transcribe using, phonetic transcription.
Transcription.
Yes,
Phonetic
sir.
transcription.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Okay,
And
let's start with the exercise.
I love the emphasis and I love the energy, Gaspar. So that's great.
Yeah,
That's
don't worry,
great.
Professor.
I'm serious. I love the energy. I think you have to. Sound like that, right? The first word is drumming. The word call. The word call, like when you make a phone call, that's the first word, right? The word call. Oh, you have to transcribe it. Let's put some numbers. The first one is call. Okay. The second one is the word none. None. Like when you see someone from the Catholic Church, dressing usually black and white or gray and white. The none. None, exactly. None. The next one Why don't we make it like a phrase? Let's have a phrase. Nine nuns. Nine nun. Nine nuns. Okay, good. Nine nuns. I saw nine nuns crossing the street the other day. Is that a good like sign? I don't know. Nine nuns. All right, nine nuns. The number 3 is the phrase in the path. In the path. In the path. In the path. That's the other one, right? In the path. And the last one, a lot of strength. A lot of strength. This is the way it's spelled. Please correct me if I'm wrong, right? I always hate to write this word because so difficult to spell. A lot of strength. You need a lot of strength to endure a phonetics class in the afternoon. A lot of strength. So a lot of strength, that would be number 4. Okay? So try your best, right? See if you can transcribe them in the next 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, and then we compare your transcriptions, right? All right? How are we doing? Do you have any questions, any comments? Right. Thanks, Bastian, for letting us know. Well, I cannot brag about my internet connection, which is also just, regular. I would say maybe below the average. Let's try to share some. Let's see if we can share your transcription, right? I'm going to offer some ideas and then we talk about them. The first option should be something like this. Call. What do you think? Is it what you think? We're talking about the phonetic, right? What was that? Okay, phonetic transcription, right? The phonetic transcription. Because if we were using the phonemic transcription, it would have been something like this, right? But there's something missing. Can you identify what's missing here?
Maybe the symbol that means voiceless after the
Exactly, the symbol that represents aspiration, right? Exactly. The symbol that represents aspiration, that's going to be a very small diacritic symbol. Yeah, here. Hopefully you can see it, right? It's supposed to go at the very beginning, right? Very on top here. Okay, does anyone else have any other comment? Any other questions? The second option could be something like this. What do you think? 9 nuns.
I agree.
9. Yes, you agree? All right. 9
pretty
nuns.
similar that I do.
Excellent. 9 nuns, right? For the other one, in the path, I think it was in the path.
Teacher,
Yes, ma'am?
I have a question. What is that? This up the in the word nine ounce, the little
Yes.
thing like
This little thing.
yes.
Okay, this little thing, we're going to be using this little thing, which we're going to call diacritic symbol. All these symbols are going to be called diacritic symbols, all right? So this specific symbol, it's going to be used before a nasal sound. If you remember, is nasal, and also is a nasal sound. And when we use this diacritic symbol, we are showing the influence of this sound on the previous one.
Okay.
The influence of this sound on the vowel sound. So when you say none, none, there's some sort of nasality, some sort of nasal quality in this vowel sound. For example, if you say nut, let me write here, nut, nut. You're using this vowel sound before a voiceless alveolar, a voiceless alveolar plosive sound. So the quality of the sound when you say nut is not the same as when you say none, none. Because if you pay close attention when you are saying none, when we produce this vowel sound, as the next one is nasal, this sort of gets a little bit of that nasality. Na. So when you say none, and you get it ready for the next consonant sound, there's some sort of airflow, a little bit from the air, from the nose. None, 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 none. So that nasality goes or is shown through the symbol. So that's the idea. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to describe that nasality given by the following nasal sound in this sort of regressive assimilation process. That's the sort of the explanation. I'll go and switch to Spanish for this one, all right? Cuando producimos los sonidos, nuestra boca, nuestra lengua, se empieza a preparar para el siguiente sonido. No es lo mismo cuando yo produzco un sonido vocálico como en nat, nat, en que el que sigue a la vocal es un alveolar, ¿cierto? Plosive voiceless alveolar, como cuando produzco un sonido que es nasal, porque como mi lengua y todo, ¿cierto? Mi aparato fonatorio se prepara para este siguiente sonido, este sonido que es nasal le presta cierta nasalidad al, por decirlo con palabras mucho más sencillas, ¿cierto? No es que le preste nada, ¿cierto? Pero una característica que es la nasalidad pasa a esta vocal. Siempre que este sonido vocálico, ¿cierto? O cualquier otro, vaya antes de una consonante, de un sonido consonántico nasal, es decir, que una vocal vaya antes de before o before el sonido vocálico que coloquen antes, ¿cierto? Va a ser influenciado por ese sonido nasal. Y ese sonido nasal, que va a tener esta característica, esta nasalidad, un poco de nasalidad de estas nasal consonants, le vamos a agregar este símbolo arriba del símbolo, ¿cierto? Indicando que esta vocal, ¿cierto? Tiene un grado de nasalidad. Puede ser cualquier símbolo vocálico. Siempre que, por ejemplo, teams, right? Teams. Teams, tenemos este icono, este símbolo representando representing this alveolar voiceless plosive, and then we have aspiration, T, teams, right? And then we have the vowel sound E, and then we have the teams, teams, teams. Y como tenemos este I, que viene antes de esta consonante nasal, ¿cierto? Le ponemos el símbolo arriba. Teams, teams. ¿Y por qué no es el último? Because this is voiced. It's voiced, so we used a voiced consonant sound. Teams, teams. Okay. Any questions, please let me know. And if it's not clear, we can switch to Spanish or keep talking in English, all right? This is a suggestion for the next exercise. In the path, in the path, in the path. Okay, so tenemos este in. And any comments, any questions, anything that's not correct?
I have a comment.
Yes, sir.
In path, I think we should add the plosive symbol.
Yes, absolutely.
Little h.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, first, in general, we have a short and lax E in. Not in, but in, right? In. As we have this vowel sound before, it becomes a nasalized sound, right?
Teacher, in the there is no aspiration.
In which one?
In the path.
Yes, absolutely. Let's take a look at that. So we have. Let me get rid of the message diacritic symbols. Okay. So we have in. So far, so good. Then we have the. And then Bastian said p, but aspirated. Okay. And then we have pa, path. In general, path, it's a long vowel sound. Path, in the path, right? So you can use this symbol representing the long a, or you can shorten this vowel sound, considering that the following one is a voiceless consonant sound, right? So both are right. Now, when we produce the first word in the path, the initial sound of the is interdental, right? As it's an interdental sound, you can also use, right, a symbol that goes like this, meaning this sound is being influenced by the next one. So this one is dentalized in the path. If you say in, when you produce n, right, your tongue goes up in to the alveolar ridge. Is that right? Is that so? Do you agree? Disagree? Remember, I love disagreeing, and we can interchange, ideas. In general, when we say in, when we produce this final consonant sound, the tongue goes up to the alveolar ridge, right? In. Yes? In.
I agree.
Okay, perfect. The next sound is the. Initial sound is an interdental sound, right? The. When we say very quickly, in the, focus on where the tongue is when you produce this sound. In the. Is it in the same position as when you say in the? in the.
No.
If you think it's the tongue is a little bit lower, like closer to the teeth, the upper teeth, instead of the alveolar ridge, then we're talking about a dentalized meaning this sound is not a pure alveolar but it's closer to this one in terms of place of articulation. It's a little bit lower at the tongue. In the. So getting ready for the next sound, this sound is not articulated as usual. The tongue goes a little bit down, so it's dentalized. Okay? That's the idea. And the suggestion for a lot of strength is this one. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Do you have a different opinion?
Lot of makes me it feels strange. I understand why it's lot of, but I have never seen that combination.
Right. First, we have a, which is, indefinite article. Usually we use this as a function word, so it's not, it's a weak form, right? We don't say a lot of strength, right? We say a lot of strength, a lot of. When people say, when a speaker says lot of, he's not producing lot of. It's not saying t. It's saying the. Lot of strength. Lot of strength. That's right. So lot of strength. Let's consider the vowel sound here. The vowel sound is being influenced by this symbol that looks like this, right? It's a nasal sound. If you remember when we were discussing the nasal sounds here, this is being nasalized, right? And as the following sound is an interdental sound, or dental, as some people say, there's this symbol that looks like this, just like previously, right? Strength. Okay, a lot of strength. Now, if you want to make this a little bit more complex, a lot of strength. This, in general, a lot of v is voiced, a voiced sound, but it's followed by a voiceless s, a lot of strength, right? So not always, but in general, there might also be an influence of the following one right here. There's some sort of devoicing of v. Devoicing, which is the quality of losing, right? The voiced quality. There is less vibration of the vocal cords in this case because the following sound is voiceless. You see the following two sounds, right, are voiceless. So that's sort of the influence. Devoicing. Okay. So this is sort of an introduction to phonetic transcription. As we can see, sounds influence each other, right? There are many different diacritic symbols representing when, for example, the tongue goes closer to the teeth, the sound becomes dentalized, right? As the symbol that we were using right here, right there. And then we have some symbols to show when the tongue goes up to the alveolar ridge, when it goes to the hard palate, when it goes to the soft palate, etc., etc. Okay, so far what we're going to cover today is, in terms of phonetic transcription, The concept of dark L, the dark L that goes at the end of a word, right? Because the other one is called light and it goes in initial position. The concept of aspiration, which is this little H symbol that resembles an H, right? It goes right after a plosive voiceless, such as k, t, and p. The nasal quality that some vowels acquire right before a nasal consonant, such as n, and ng. Okay, and the dentalization process, or how a consonant sound becomes dentalized, because the following sound is an interdental sound, which could be this voiced th or this voiceless th. Right? Those are the examples that I wanted to give you. Remember that this phonetic symbol, these phonetic symbols or phonetic transcription, this phonetic transcription is used to give more details about the pronunciation, right, of a speaker. Sometimes when we listen more carefully, we may realize that, for example, some speakers may not produce a dentalized n, but they pronounce very carefully in the path, in the path. So when the speaker produces in and the sound produced is an alveolar sound, we forget about this, because phonetic transcription, what it does is it tries to show exactly what's going on when the speaker is articulating the sounds, all right? So that's what I want to be very clear about. In general, this is what happens, right? But sometimes, depending on the speaker, if the speaker speaks at a very slow pace or very carefully articulated, right? Sometimes the phonetic transcription is very similar to the phonemic transcription. I don't know. I don't see if you get my point, because there aren't a lot of changes, because the speaker articulates so well that by separating carefully the words, there's not a lot of influence, right? So phonetic transcription just tries to give more details about what you're listening. That's basically the idea. Ladies and gentlemen, differences between phonetic and phonemic transcription is what we covered today. Remember, this phonetic transcription is not the Bible. Sometimes you can hear a speaker saying something.
Yeah, it's not defiable.
Yeah, it's not something that it has to be like that all the time. It depends on the
That's
speaker,
right.
right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any questions before we finish the session? Bastian, go ahead, please.
Yes. In the case of strength, what means the symbols that are up, the S and st are like two. Yes, that part. What that means?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. I'm sorry. I was just showing you that this sound, lot of the final v, which is voiced, right? It's a voiced labiodental fricative sound, v, right? May be influenced by the next sound, which is voiceless. And also the next one is voiceless. So we have a couple of voiceless sounds that may be influencing this previous one, right? Causing the vocal cords not to vibrate. But I was just marking them for you to realize, but it's not that there is a specific symbol there. And the other thing that I didn't make a comment of is you know the concept of syllabic consonants, which, for example, O can be a syllabic consonant, can be a syllabic consonant, and which is basically when we get rid of the schwa, as in needle, for example, button, and then you get something like going from a t to an button, right? And you don't have any schwa here between this consonant and the last one. So as some speakers may go from t to an without any vowel sound there, you show that by adding a small circle. It looks like it looks like a small mark by the. I mean, it's not a circle actually. It's like a small stroke. Let me see if you can get it right. Something like that. Okay, something like that. So button, you get a syllabic here because there's no schwa before. Some speakers say button, ton. They use a schwa. Others do not use a schwa. So how do you describe the way a speaker pronounced the word if you didn't listen to the schwa with a syllabic the same with riddle, right? Riddle, riddle, like Tom Riddle, riddle. You go from d to and if the speaker does not produce the schwa, right? You have to show it using a syllabic consonant, a syllabic riddle. Some speakers just they produced the schwa, riddle, riddle. So if the speaker produces the schwa, then there is no syllabic consonant. You have a syllabic consonant if the schwa is elided, as in riddle and button. The schwa is elided, it's not pronounced, and you go from one consonant to the other consonant. So in that situation, in that case, you have to show it by adding this small diacritic symbol at the bottom of the consonant sound, and that means that this is a syllabic This is a syllabic okay? Syllabic, like syllable, right? But just the adjective. Okay? That's something I forgot to remind you of. Ladies, gentlemen, any questions, comments, or we call it a day? We call it a day. Let's call it a day.
I think this is only practice and see this class video over and over and over and over. And we finally we will learn this.
Yes, totally agree. There's a lot of practice involved. Yeah, it takes a while. The idea that, you know, sounds influence each other, some of them in terms of voicing, others in terms of place of articulation. Yeah, it takes a while. I'm sorry, but that's something I have to share with you. It's not that we're going to be specialized in phonetic transcription, but, you know, there's something. What if you continue a master's program in linguistics? Then you need to know this because it's sort of basic thing. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you next session, which I believe is on Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
But this Friday we have no classes, Professor.
Woohoo! You're right.
Woohoo!
I'm sorry. I have to say, oh.
Next Monday.
Next Monday. Yes, next Monday. All right. Enjoy the rest of the week. I'll see you around. Bye. You all take care.
Have a nice weekend.
See you.
Bye.
See you.
You too.
Have a
Bye-bye.
nice day.
Goodbye. You too. Thank you.
Bye.